Was nearly in ruins, so it was evident that very much money was spent with the policy of a Soviet country. Right now on your right there is a huge circular building with columns, so this is one of the branches of the Russian National Library. 17 and
God, ja, die maken er een ding. Het zijn allemaal oude mannen.
Bus, the one we have been proud of for so many years. So we in the school, so brother university, dedicated
Push in as well?
Bartolomeo Rastrelli, very many buildings were set up by him to his design in St Petersburg as well as in the suburbs. So this is a very important name in terms of Russian architecture. So you will see very many was extended by Rastrelli by the order of the Russian Tsarina Elizabeth, who was Peter the Great's favorite daughter. So
it's 9:15 now. The palace is closed, but they're opening, especially for our group, at 9 o'clock.
So this one is Pakistan, and so unfortunately quite a few rooms were completely destroyed, but still.
How long are we going to be in the palace?
I think some 40.
tall is this?
The sun on the wrong
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
You have to get a bit in the middle.
Welcome, thank you.
The small size pieces on display, the Chinese and envelope in front are fake. They're just painted to resemble. So take photographs. Now we are going to see the first stage.
Herren, wir befinden uns gerade im zentralen Teil.
He added to pavilions and the next of light. It has such a peculiar name because it used to be illuminated by 600 candles. All in all, there are 400 mirrors. So that was the main principle of Baroque, to deceive you by any cost, at any cost. Theories about P-L-A-S-O-N-E, it's a ceiling decoration. Only 7 meters high, but it looks much higher. Only 7 meters between you and the ceiling. Yeah, only 7. Sorry. Being kept in the cellars of one of the palaces in St. Petersburg. So then, in the 20th century, in 1944, the palace was set on fire. And the ceiling was completely destroyed. So, but then they remembered that somewhere in the city, in the cellars, there should be the genuine painting, and it was found. The 2/3 of the ceiling decoration are genuine.
Oh, die zijn origineel. Die hebben
That's smash right was on the I said
je hebt het helemaal zelf. Oh, dat is nog niet zo. Dat is iets anders. Ja, ja.
But I'm waiting for a frequent. As a photograph on this stand. Yes, some sort of. I design. If we take a look at the walls, you might also notice that it's in a set with Indian flowers. We also date that to the 18th Steel foil on the glass. A question might arise, colored glass. But colored glass was only executed, was only made in Venice, and no one else used the same. So notice, you might have noticed, there is a wonderful looking chest pot, looks crimson. It's because ivory was dyed with cinnabar. It's another example of the role in large-size windows behind you and mirrors, and library panels as well. Now, speaking about the bureau, which is on your right-hand side, it was commissioned in Germany in the famous workshop of Ron. It's market treatment he used over, and this room would be most often used for different recycling. Now we are standing in the portrait. It's the portrait of Catherine I, Peter the Great's mother. In front of the portrait, there is another one, female portrait. This is Elizabeth, the daughter-in-law of Elizabeth. She was a German princess who came to Russia at the invitation of Elizabeth to marry her nephew. Assassinated. The assassination had been organized by Catherine, so that was how she became very powerful. So Frederick's rings. When the crowns came to St. Petersburg, there was no crew where they could be displayed. So it was only Elizabeth, Peter the Great's daughter, who insisted on this room being decorated with the crowns. But when the architect was accomplished task, he faced the most complicated problem. This room was much larger in size than the one for which they had been intended. That was the reason why he had to paint the upper part of the wall to imitate amber decoration. And that was the reason why he had to install so many mirrors. So this was something that we created 6 tons of amber were used for the restoration of the pre-war photographs, as well as genuine sketches, genuine design. Charles Cameron, the Scottish person who was invited to come to Russia to work. St. Petersburg was no longer popular classes. It was the leading porcelain box. Food was only warmed up, and that would be done on the ground floor in special rooms. Dates back to the late 18th century. This is the reason why you have to put sleepers on the ground. Notice all those distinguishing features. As for the clusters, they are wooden, painted to imitate marble. Look as if they were stone. Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, there is no with the room on the left-hand side. So as soon as the situation permits, we'll be able to take a look inside. This used to be the study of Alexander the First, whose gala portrait you could see a popular material in the 19th century because rooms decorated front of the gates leading to the Catherine Palace. Now we are going to Catherine the Great. This lady was a true representative of the age of enlightenment. She was in correspondence with one where all the items on display were her personal belongings, hence the name her. Who was Catherine the Great's son, so the grandson of Catherine. He came to power in 1825, and the first thing he did was he suppressed the armed uprising that had been initiated by the officers of the Russian army. They wanted him to abdicate and they wanted him to do away with autocracy, but he never did. He suppressed that uprising. Ladies and gentlemen, in the previous room, there were portraits of numerous this portrait. So this is Alexander III, the father of the last Romanov, Nicholas I, who is on the opposite side. Here Romanov and his spouse Alexandra, who was Queen Victoria grandmother. They had 5 children, 4 daughters and 1 son. The son, Prince ladies and gentlemen, and implementing your knowledge when going through the passport control, say spasiba, spasiba to the lady. Yard or merchant's arcade. They say it's every lady's dream and every gentleman's nightmare. So I suppose that once again, ladies and gentlemen, in front of you there is a huge granite pillar which commemorates the victory over Germany in 1945. And besides, if you keep on looking, if you take a better look, you will see a staircase in the center which leads underground to the museum for the siege. So the monument to Lenin, whose real name was Vladimir Ulyanov.
He became known as Lenin in the 20th century. In St. Petersburg, we still have traffic shaped like a circus. Probably it resembles the shape of a circus, but this is not a circus. There are no animals, so capital letter M on top. The underground with marble, different brushes and triumphal arch, which has the name of the Moscow Triumphal Arch, the same name as the avenue has. This triumphal arch was set up in the first half of the 19th century to commemorate the victory, or to be more precise, victories of the Russian army over Turkey and Persia. If you keep on looking on top, you will see some numbers: 1826, 1827, 1828. So these have to do with the victories when the victories were won over. Now we're crossing the boundary canal, which is on either side of you. A boundary because closer to the historical part of St. Petersburg. Now buildings on. There is a semicircular building. There is a semicircular building of an underground station. So the underground is on the ground floor, and it's probably one of the most frequently visited underground stations, as it's located in the very center of St. Petersburg. The name of the underground station is Technological University, or University for Technology and Design, and the university itself is now on your right. It's a huge beige building, so they have to pay for their studies. They're not provided with a scholarship. For boys, this is in most cases they try to get admittance to universities or colleges. So this is how the service in the army can be delayed. So there are 350 bridges in St. Petersburg. Observe that tradition. So the first building, the first bridges started at. On your right hand side, there is the only pedestrian bridge in St. Petersburg. No cars can use that bridge. And if you keep on looking at your right, you will see a most wonderful looking bridge, the Egyptian bridge. There are 4 sphinxes that guard the bridge. There are very many legends concerning this bridge. For example, in the 19th century, a regiment, a large group of soldiers and officers were crossing the bridge. They were marching across the bridge, and all of a sudden the bridge collapsed. So all these soldiers found themselves in the water. Fortunately, there were no victims. And there are 2 versions, 2 assumptions concerning why it happened. So the first version is the supervisor of the construction works stole a very considerable sum of money. He embezzled quite much money, and that was the result of the construction works. The bridge was of a very poor quality, so as a result it collapsed as soon as very many people started crossing it simultaneously. Another assumption is much more romantic. They say that one of the soldiers who were in that regiment had deserted his mistress, his girlfriend, the day before that event. The girl knew that he would be crossing the bridge, so she came to the embankment and she exclaimed when she saw him, "May the deuce take you!" And as a result, the bridge collapsed. Pan Razin, so this is the label, this is the trademark they produce. The name of the beer they produce is Stepan. It's like Stephen. So the shape resembles that of the crucifix. So this is the reason why it has such an extraordinary name. So ladies and gentlemen, we have nearly